Quick like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. You know what's interesting about lies? The liar always assumes you're somewhere else. They tell you they're at yoga, the gym, the grocery store, wherever, because they're counting on you being at work, at home, busy with your own life. They never expect you to be in the exact wrong place at the exact wrong time. My wife told me she was at yoga last Tuesday. Hot yoga, she said. The 6 p.m. class she'd been attending religiously for 3 months. Same studio, same instructor, same time. Except I saw her car, parked at the Riverside Motel off Highway 85. Not moving, just sitting there in the parking lot for 3 hours while she was supposedly sweating through downward dogs and warrior poses. I know because I was stuck in traffic right next to that motel. Construction backup. 3 hours of sitting in my car, barely moving, staring at that parking lot. And for all 3 of those hours, my wife's car, her distinctive blue Honda CR-V with a Berkeley parking sticker and the dent on the driver's side door, sat parked in front of room 14. She wasn't at yoga. She was at a motel. For 3 hours. On a Tuesday evening. And I only found out because traffic was bad enough that I couldn't escape seeing the truth. My name is Marcus. I'm 39 years old, and I work as a project manager for a construction company in Sacramento, California. I spend my days coordinating schedules, managing timelines, and understanding when people aren't where they say they're supposed to be. I know how long jobs actually take versus how long people claim they take. I know how long yoga class actually is. 60 minutes. 75 if you include changing and showering. Not 3 hours. I met Vanessa 10 years ago at a friend's barbecue in the suburbs. She was working as a dental office administrator, organized and health conscious in ways I admired. I was the construction guy, practical and straightforward. We balanced each other's strengths and weaknesses. We got married 9 years ago. Bought a house in Elk Grove, a ranch-style home with a big backyard and good schools nearby. Vanessa continued at the dental practice. I advanced to senior project manager. Combined income around $175,000. We were stable, comfortable, planning to start a family soon. For 8 years, everything was predictable. Vanessa worked regular hours, 8 to 5 at the dental office. Evenings were for dinner together, TV, normal married life. Weekends were for house projects, seeing friends, relaxing. Then, 3 months ago, Vanessa announced she wanted to get more serious about fitness. I've been feeling stressed and out of shape, she said one evening in late July. I think I need to start working out regularly. Maybe take some classes. That's great. What are you thinking? There's a hot yoga studio near my office. They have evening classes. I was thinking about trying it out. Sounds good. Whatever helps you feel better. She started going to yoga that week. Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. Then added Thursday evenings. Then Saturday mornings. How's yoga going? I'd ask. Amazing. I'm getting so much stronger. The instructor, Diana, is fantastic. Really pushes us. Over the following weeks, Vanessa became increasingly committed to yoga. Never missed a Tuesday or Thursday evening class. Never missed Saturday morning. I'm going to yoga, she'd announce at 5:30 on Tuesday evenings. She'll be home by 7:30. She'd leave in her yoga pants and tank top, gym bag over her shoulder, water bottle in hand. Come home around 7:45 or 8 o'clock, hair wet from showering, looking relaxed. Great class tonight. Diana had us doing these crazy balance poses. I'm going to be so sore tomorrow. I supported it. She seemed happier, more energized. The commitment was admirable. But I started noticing small things that didn't quite add up. Vanessa's body hadn't changed. Not that I expected dramatic transformation, but after 3 months of yoga 3 times per week, I'd expected some visible difference. More muscle tone, more flexibility, something. But she looked exactly the same. She also never talked about anyone else from class. When someone's taking a regular class for 3 months, they usually mention other students. There's this woman who can do headstands, or the guy next to me fell over during tree pose. Normal class observations. But Vanessa never mentioned anyone. Just Diana, the instructor. Never any other students. And she'd become very private about her phone. More protective, more secretive. Would keep it face down, take calls in other rooms, angle away when texting. The physical intimacy between us had decreased. We'd gone from regular connection to occasional to rare. Just tired from yoga, she'd say. My body needs rest. But she never seemed tired after yoga. She seemed energized, glowing. Happy. Last Tuesday, October 15th, I left work at 5:30 p.m. Had to drive from my construction site in West Sacramento back home to Elk Grove. Usually a 35 to 40-minute drive, depending on traffic. I took my normal route, Highway 99, south to Highway 50, east. Usually straightforward. But as I merged onto Highway 50, traffic came to a complete stop. Construction backup. Cones everywhere. Signs saying, right lane closed ahead. I was stuck, barely moving. My GPS showed a massive red line of stopped traffic stretching for miles. I inched forward over 20 minutes, finally reaching the actual construction zone. They'd closed 2 lanes, funneling everyone into 1 lane. The backup was going to take hours. That's when I noticed where I was. Right next to the Riverside Motel, a cheap roadside motel that I passed occasionally, but never paid attention to. I was sitting in traffic, going maybe 5 miles per hour, inching past this motel parking lot. And that's when I saw it. A blue Honda CR-V. Same color as Vanessa's. Same model year. I looked closer as traffic crawled forward. Berkeley parking sticker on the back window. Vanessa went to Berkeley for undergrad. Always kept that sticker as a point of pride. Driver's side door had a dent. Vanessa had backed into a pole 6 months ago. Never got it fixed. It was Vanessa's car. No question. Parked in front of room 14 at the Riverside Motel. At 6:05 p.m. on a Tuesday evening, when she was supposed to be at yoga. I tried to tell myself there was an explanation. Maybe the studio was near here, and she'd parked at the motel for some reason. Maybe she was helping someone. But as traffic continued crawling forward at an agonizing pace, I kept looking back at that parking lot through my rearview mirror. Her car didn't move. 6:15 p.m. Car still there. 6:30 p.m. Car still there. 6:45 p.m. Still hadn't moved. Traffic was so bad I'd only moved about half a mile in 45 minutes. I was still close enough to see the motel parking lot clearly. At 7 p.m., I watched the door to room 14 open. A man came out. Mid-30s, business casual clothes. He got into a Toyota Camry parked next to Vanessa's car. Started it. Sat there for a moment checking his phone. Then the door to room 14 opened again. Vanessa came out. She was wearing jeans and a nice blouse. Not yoga clothes. Not workout gear. Regular clothes like she'd wear to a nice dinner. She walked to her car. The man in the Camry rolled down his window. They talked for a minute. She laughed at something he said, leaned in, and kissed him through the car window. Not a quick peck. A real kiss. Then she got in her car. He drove away first. She followed a few seconds later. Both cars pulled out of the motel parking lot at 7:05 p.m. I was still stuck in traffic. Couldn't follow. Could only watch them drive away in the opposite direction while I sat trapped in construction backup. I finally got through the construction zone around 7:40 p.m. The drive that should have taken 40 minutes had taken over 2 hours. When I got home at 8:15 p.m., Vanessa's car was in the garage. I walked in, found her in the living room, hair wet, wearing yoga clothes, scrolling through her phone. "Hey, you're late," she said. "Traffic. Yeah. Bad construction on Highway 50. Took forever. That's the worst. I'm glad I don't have to deal with rush hour traffic after yoga. The studio is only 10 minutes from work." She was lying to my face. Casually. Easily. "How was class?" I asked. "Great. Diana had us doing hip openers tonight. So intense. I'm going to be sore tomorrow." "What time did class start?" 6 o'clock. "What? And you just got home?" "I got home around 7:45. I stayed after talk to Diana about a workshop she's teaching next month." Why all the questions? She'd left the motel at 7:05 p.m. Got home at 7:45. That was 40 minutes. Enough time to drive home and change into yoga clothes to maintain the illusion. "Just curious," I said. "I'm going to take a shower." I went upstairs. Sat on our bed. Processed what I'd seen. Vanessa had lied about going to yoga. She'd gone to a motel instead. Spent over an hour in room 14 with a man I didn't recognize. Come out wearing regular clothes. Not workout gear. Kissed him goodbye. Then driven home, changed into yoga clothes, wet her hair, and acted like she'd just come from class. All while I sat trapped in traffic, watching the entire thing unfold. I pulled out my phone. Searched for hot yoga studios near Sacramento. Found 3. Called each one. "Hi. Do you have a Tuesday evening class at 6 p.m. with an instructor named Diana?" First studio. "No, sorry. We don't have anyone named Diana." Second studio. We have a Diana, but she teaches morning classes only. Third studio. No Diana here. There was no Diana. No Tuesday yoga class. Vanessa had made it up. I called the Riverside Motel. Hi. I'm wondering if you keep records of room rentals. Specifically, who rented room 14 today, Tuesday, October 15th. I'm sorry, sir. We can't give out guest information. I understand. But can you tell me if room 14 was rented today for afternoon use? The clerk hesitated. Yes, it was rented from 4 to 7 p.m. But I can't tell you who rented it. Thank you. That's all I needed to know. 3-hour rental. 4 to 7 p.m. Exactly when Vanessa was supposed to be at yoga. I searched our credit card statements online. Found charges to the Riverside Motel going back 3 months. Every Tuesday and Thursday. $75 each time. 3 months of motel charges. The exact amount of time Vanessa had been going to yoga. She wasn't going to yoga. She was going to motel. Meeting someone. Spending an hour or two there. Then coming home and pretending she'd been at fitness class. For 3 months. 24 times. 24 Tuesday and Thursday evenings of lies. And I'd only found out because I got stuck in traffic right next to the motel and couldn't look away. I waited until Vanessa went to bed that night. Then I packed a bag. Left the house around midnight while she was sleeping. Checked into a hotel near my office. Sent her a text. I know you weren't at yoga tonight. I know about the Riverside Motel. I know about room 14. I know about the man you kissed goodbye. Don't call me. I'll contact you through my attorney. She called immediately. I didn't answer. She called 15 more times over the next hour. Left voicemails crying, begging me to let her explain. I didn't listen to them. The next morning, I called a divorce attorney. His name was Robert Torres, specialized in infidelity cases. My wife has been lying about going to yoga for 3 months. She's actually been meeting someone at Motel. I have credit card statements showing regular charges. I saw her there yesterday with my own eyes. You witnessed her at the motel. I was stuck in traffic next to it for 3 hours. Watched her car parked in front of room 14. Saw her come out with a man. Saw them kiss. Watched her drive away and come home pretending she'd been at yoga class. That's direct evidence. Do you have photos? I was driving. Couldn't take photos safely. But I have the credit card charges going back 3 months. I have confirmation from the motel that room 14 was rented yesterday from 4 to 7 p.m. I have phone records showing there's no yoga instructor named Diana at any studio near her work. That's strong circumstantial evidence, combined with direct observation. We can work with this. Robert filed papers that afternoon. Vanessa was served at her dental office the next morning. She called me, hysterical. You're filing for divorce? Without even talking to me. We could talk. Who was the man at the motel? Silence. His name is Ryan. He's a pharmaceutical rep who calls on our dental office. And you've been seeing him for 3 months. Yes. At the Riverside Motel. While telling me you were at yoga classes that don't exist. I didn't know how to tell you. You didn't try to tell me. You just kept lying. Tuesday and Thursday evenings for 3 months. Every single time you left the house in yoga clothes, you were actually going to a motel to sleep with Ryan. I'm sorry. I saw you, Vanessa. I sat in traffic for 3 hours yesterday, watching your car parked at that motel. I saw you come out of room 14. I saw you kiss him. I watched you drive away. Then you came home and told me about your great yoga class with Diana. I ended it with Ryan. Yesterday was the last time. Because you got caught. Not because you wanted to end it. If I hadn't been stuck in traffic at the exact wrong place, you'd still be lying. You'd still be going to your yoga classes every Tuesday and Thursday. We can fix this. No, we can't. You've been paying for motel rooms with our credit card for 3 months. You created an entire fictional yoga routine complete with a fake instructor. You came home and lied to my face 24 times. That's not fixable. The divorce moved quickly. Vanessa tried to argue I had no proof of the affair. Robert presented the credit card statements showing $1,800 in motel charges over 3 months. Presented my testimony about witnessing her at the motel. Presented phone records showing no yoga studio match her story. My client observed his wife at the Riverside Motel when she claimed to be at yoga, Robert argued. Credit card records confirm she's been paying for motel rooms for 3 months during the times she claimed to be at fitness classes. She admitted to the affair when confronted. The evidence is overwhelming. We settled after 6 weeks. I kept the house. I'd paid the down payment entirely from premarital savings. Vanessa had to reimburse me $1,800 for the motel charges she'd put on our joint credit card. She got 30% of joint savings. No spousal support. 9 years of marriage ended because I got stuck in traffic next to the motel where she was cheating on me. I heard what happened after. Vanessa tried to continue things with Ryan. He wanted nothing to do with her once the affair became public. Didn't want the drama of dating someone who'd just gotten divorced because of him. Vanessa moved to a different dental practice. Couldn't face Ryan coming in for his sales calls anymore. About a year later, I met someone at a project manager's conference. Her name was Lisa. Civil engineer. Direct. Honest. Actually went to yoga. On our third date, she asked about my divorce. My ex-wife told me she was going to yoga 3 times a week for 3 months. Turns out she was going to a motel instead. I found out because I got stuck in traffic right next to the motel and couldn't avoid seeing her car parked there for 3 hours. Lisa's eyes widened. You saw her at the motel? Watched her car sit in the parking lot for 3 hours while traffic barely moved. Saw her come out with a man. Saw them kiss. Watched her drive home to change into yoga clothes and pretend she'd been at class. For 3 months, she kept up this lie. Every Tuesday and Thursday. Invented a yoga instructor named Diana. Made up stories about hip openers and balance poses. Even wet her hair before coming home to look like she'd showered after class. All while spending those hours at a motel with her boyfriend. That's elaborate. That's calculated. She had a whole routine. Leave in yoga clothes, go to the motel, spend time with Ryan, drive home, change back into yoga clothes, wet her hair, walk and talking about class. 24 times over 3 months. What made her think she'd never get caught? She assumed I'd always be at work or home. Never expected I'd be stuck in traffic right next to the motel at the exact time she was there. Sometimes the truth comes out just because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. We've been together 11 months. Lisa actually goes to yoga. I know because I've picked her up from class. Met her instructor. Seen the studio. No lies. No motels. Just truth. My wife said she was at yoga. I saw her car parked at a motel for 3 hours. Room 14. With a man who wasn't me. Kissing him goodbye. Then driving home to pretend she'd been doing warrior poses. For 3 months, she'd been perfecting that lie. And I believed it. Until traffic forced me to see the truth. Sometimes you don't catch a cheater by investigating. Sometimes traffic just stops you in exactly the right spot. And you can't look away.